man. How you doing? Clicker. I do not have the. You got the clicker? Good morning, everybody. How about another round of applause for Mo 11 and the entire keynote team for putting on yet one more amazing conference in Miami. I'm just waiting on a clicker to get this whole thing started. Thank you very much, sir. Let's see. Let's start with something very, very simple. You are yourself. Individual, unique, powerful, and valuable. So my name is Craig Sellars. I've been in this space since about 2013, where we actually did the very first ICO for a project called Mastercoin. Because of Mastercoin, we were able to actually create tokens out of thin air, the first deployed decentralized smart contract in the world. And realizing we could do that with a very strong and powerful team, we created the very first stablecoin, Tether. I am both an inventor and a founder of Tether, and I'm immensely proud of what it's been able to accomplish. After Tether, shortly after, I went on with Eric Poulier and Reeve Collins to create the very, very first NFTs. We called them VATOMs, or virtual atoms. The project was called Vatomic. It became Block V, and is still out there right now creating autonomous digital objects. This next project that I've been working on is probably even more important than the creation of the digital dollar, because it is you. It is, in essence, yourself. I found this to be, in essence, the most important thing I could have ever worked on, and I've been doing it now for several years. At Vatomic, we realized that there are three underlying premises for all identity, and that is the declaration of yourself, attestations and claims about one another, and delegation of responsibility and access to your information. Underneath all of this is the identity of an individual, of you. You are everything. You are the value that you create, the value that you share with one another, and the value you mint out of thin air without restriction. You are the thing that turns the crank. You are the thing that makes breakfast. You are the thing that tastes snowflakes. You are unique, you are powerful, and you are everything. It is infinite possibilities from a unique individual. So last year at this conference, I announced this new project. And it is an open source, fully agnostic project called Keychain.org. And it is, in essence, an open standard. Just like Bitcoin or HTTP, it allows for the interchange of information with any third party on your terms and your terms alone. It's a user-controlled, self-sovereign identity standard, which is fully agnostic and 100% decentralized. And today, you can actually go to Keychain.org and look at the documentation, download the code, and learn about what it actually means to be a self-sovereign, decentralized digital identity. Technically, we actually call it MDIP, the Multi-Dimensional Identity Protocol. And again, it is standardized on very open W3C IDs, DID standards, verifiable credentials. And it comes from the secret that is you, your password, your uniqueness, and it creates a mesh of interconnected identities on an open, unrestricted network. Every single one of you, every single entity out there, whether you are a platform, an NGO, a company, a government, you have the ability to now interlink all of those things directly on an open standard network. This is immensely powerful because now there is no friction between yourself and the value that you want to relay to the world, but entirely on your terms. With you at the center and anonymity as the absolute baseline, you get to choose what we call proof of self, that you are a unique identity and that you want to share the value that you actually create. So again, there are two sides to this coin. One is the open source community, the open source platform, the software, and the protocol. On the other side is an on-ramp, a seamless interface that allows you as the individual, you as the organization, to allow people to actually sign in with yourself. Sign in with yourself. That's different, again, from everything that's out there, because this allows you to have complete control and ownership, complete control over the sharing of your information on your terms. But most importantly, complete control over the monetization of the value that you create. You see, the SelfID platform was created, again, so that you have complete control over yourself, your digital self. Underneath all of this is a structure that's similar to the natural structure of atoms and molecules. And what this actually does is it actually creates a digital genome for yourself, like digital DNA. It is the structure that makes you, you. The structure that makes you, you online. Now, in looking at how to build an identity platform, we learned many, many ways how not to build decentralized identity. And that was actually pretty difficult until we realized that every other company that's out there that builds an identity standard, they have a private database somewhere, and they want to own you. They want to own your information. And they want to monetize that for their own benefit and not your benefit. Every company that's out there today is building a system of control. And it's not for your control, it's for their control. They get to monetize your information, and you don't get to monetize it at all. What we've realized is that if you have control over what you choose to share and who you share it with, you become the person in complete control of your online destiny. And we found that to be immensely critical. To do this, we had to start with some pretty powerful core technologies, strong cryptographic primitives. We had to build some rock-solid implementations. We needed to provide frictionless usability so that anyone could use this system. We needed to collect some strong strategic partners. And we needed to build a world-class team. All of this allows us to have an interoperable digital identity marketplace so that you, again, can monetize the information that you create because it is you. So the SelfID platform actually sits right on top of Keychain.org. And it allows for platforms and users to finally connect to one another on their terms. And when I talk about users, I'm talking about people. And when I talk about people, I'm talking about you. SelfID is revolutionary. It will teach individuals, it will teach people how important it is to define themselves online. But even more importantly, how important it is to be able to monetize your information. See, every day you sign in with some company on some website. What you don't realize is when you're doing that, you're giving away an immense amount of information. You're leaving a trail behind. And that trail is being monetized by that company you signed in with, and they are marketing you. You are the product. And because of that, you actually get no part of that upside. You get no part of that monetization. Well, we found that to be absurd. We think that you should be in control and in the middle of the payment stream of monetizing your own data. And we can now do that with smart contracts. It makes it pretty easy. You get to define exactly which elements of your identity you're willing to share. And we make it very simple. Because again, it's atoms and molecules. It's a part of the digital genome. And you yourself get to define how much every atom is worth. When you're going to get paid, how you're going to get paid, in which currency you're going to get paid. Again, giving you full and complete control. Again, underneath all of these things is the unique identity that is you. Now, just like in the real physical world, your identity, your physical composure, is comprised of, in fact, your physical genome. It defines you. It defines your physical self. Your DNA tells physics and nature what to do. In the digital world, your digital self is now comprised of your own digital genome. This is revolutionary. This is unique. You see, as every new entity comes online and declares their decentralized identity, it creates the metaverse of metaverses. It creates an overlaid network of relationships between entities, companies, governments, individuals, and how you're going to share that information on this mesh. This is huge. See, piece by piece and day by day, as more users begin to define themselves online, create their self-sovereign, digital, decentralized identities, the network grows stronger. The more identities declared and the more partners that come on board, the more valuable that network actually becomes. This means, using the network effect, there is infinite possibilities as we all interact with one another on blockchains, via IPFS, via IPNS. We have new opportunities, new technologies, and a new way to define relationships between one another online. I'm immensely proud of what we have. I'm immensely proud to be able to share it, and humbled with everyone that's here and everyone in the world. Because you are who you are. And now you have the opportunity to control who you are online. Yourself. So thank you, everyone. Please do join us at yourself.id and check out keychain.org and begin declaring yourself. Thank you all.
Sellars, ladies and gentlemen.